Hi, guys. I'm back. Sorry about that. I hope you guys find me because that was weird. I just got something that said you are offline and then everything just disappeared. I'm assuming that we lost the internet because there's 3 flakes of snow and we're in New Jersey. So I lost the internet. There we go. Olivia found us. Awesome. Yeah, I just lost the internet, Olivia. I don't know what happened. It just did this weird thing. It said you were offline and it just all went away. And I was like, what the? But yes, pattern blindness is a real thing. And I see your pattern blindness and I raise you yet another split skirt, kind of a jumper, have to wear a t-shirt with it, pattern. Just wait, it's not the only one. Here's her sister. Basically the same thing, right? Just a different style. And then, wait. Here's the cousin. So this is the one piece. Remember, these were like the romper things. I never really got into these because a lot of these were cropped. And they really looked like I had bought the wrong length pants, So I never really got into them. This next one, it's a shame the other ladies haven't caught up because this next one is so bad that I don't even know what to call this. Okay. It is just pull-on pants and a t-shirt. But can we see this down here? When did we match our cuffs to our pockets? And do we have a little, oh yeah, and a little bit on the sleeve? Like, when did we do that? I personally never did that. That was not one of my fashion sins. I'm not sure who thought that was a good idea, but no. That marketing person should be fired. They should be fired out of a cannon. Yeah, here we go. Were we talking about stirrup pants last week? Now, these are not stirrup pants, but this is the shirt that you wore with the stirrup pants, right? In fact, I'm very surprised there are no stirrup pants in here. It was a little shocking, actually, when I think about it. And then we have, yes, here we go. Here's her sister. Her sister's got the same outfit, a little different. Oh, and look, headband. The oh so fabulous headband. Okay, so this is the pattern that really took the cake for me for the 90s that I thought, what were we thinking? Now, I briefly remember my mother referring to these as harem pants or something like harem pants. But they are, yeah, hold on, let me see. I think the inside, yeah, okay. See that line drawing? The good thing about these is if you made them now, they could completely hide your Depends undergarment. Like if you have a little bladder leakage and you needed something to make sure that like no one, come on, focus, that no one could see the Depends, these are the pants for you. I have 2 here that I'm saving till the end because they're unisex. So we're going to put those aside and we'll work on these. Okay, more right? More casual. Giant shirt, pull-on pants. Where's the line? There we go. There's the line drawings. Another, well, this is fancier, right? This is more of a jumper dress with t-shirt with shoulder pads underneath. And then here is the one that this one was everywhere. You'll know what I'm talking about. Remember this? Remember that collar? It's 2 pieces, right? So it's a blouse / jacket / I don't know, with a skirt. But I remember this one being literally everywhere. Like everybody was wearing this. Asymmetrical button front. Very, very stern looking. And this was kind of cute, right? Again, with the very big shoulder pads, though, in the jacket. And the beginning of the end, the beginning of the sheath dress era. Yes, I love Lady Diana, but I got to tell you, she did us no favors with pushing the sheath dress on the fashion community because, yeah, you have to be kind of impossibly thin or impossibly perfectly formed. You have to be almost a perfect hourglass to pull off a sheath dress. The fancy sheath dress. The cocktail sheath dress. There we go. Yeah. You have the really, really just basic dress, but a great dress in its own way. The only thing I don't like about this actually is the shoulder pads. Other than that, it's kind of a nice dress actually. And then there's this. And this, another kind of quintessential 1990s dress. I think I had a couple of these too. Very similar to the one with the patchwork. I think with the faux patchwork. I think this just has a lower, it's not really a sweetheart neckline. Let's see if no, it's just a scoop neckline. So it really is basically the same dress. Really. All right, so we're down to, these patterns are the ones I worked on today. They're not online yet because I didn't get a chance to get to them yet. So we have the really basic suit, kind of cute. I like the jacket on this. This is another kind of cropped, almost bomber style jacket. I thought that was pretty cool. We have the short suit. Okay. We can all say thank you to Amanda from Melrose Place, also known, aka Heather Locklear, for the short suit. In fact, hers were never this big though. Remember, she always had the mini skirts with the long shirt, with the long jacket. This, okay. This is one piece with a jacket. Yeah, I know. It doesn't look like it, but it is. Really nice basic suit. But can you see the pocket? Yeah, remember this? We all have a family crest now. I remember when you could go to Joann's and you could get the packages that had like a crest on them. So you literally had the same family crest as anyone else who shopped at Joann's. It was the Joann's family crest. Oh, and then there's this number. Yeah. Yeah, a little bit of dynasty still going on here. Even though this was like 94, 95. Still got that little bit of the dynasty era going on there. Oh, and this fancy suit. Got a couple fancy suits here. Peplum, fancy peplum suits. And then this one. This is another one. Boxy cropped jacket over a very flowy skirt. Very a la Ralph Lauren. And that leads us to the two last and most 90s of all patterns that we have here. I submit to you, number one, the unisex tracksuit pattern. Now, you notice it's only red, white, and blue. It's not like fuchsia, pink, sky blue, highlighter yellow. Because let's face it, the windbreakers back in the day, we fought the wind with all of our zeal. But these were my favorites. Now, these are not exactly Zumba pants. Okay. Do you guys remember Zumba pants? You know what I'm talking about because you remember, right? These animal prints, they were called Zumba and they had the little tag in the front that said Zumba and they were all the rage. So you apparently could make your own Zumba pants at home. But when I saw this, I could not stop laughing because all I could think of was Zumba. Yeah, you remember the Zumba pants, right? They were a thing. They were like everywhere. They were like measles. They were just everywhere. And one person got them and everybody got them. No, I remember my brother-in-law he must have had 4 pairs of Zumba pants and you could get them in the colors of your sports team. Wait, I'm going to pull them out again so that you can imagine them in the colors of your sports team. Now, I'm near Philly. So he had a pair that were wildly patterned like this. And they were like a lighter green, a darker green, black and white or something similar to that. And they were for the Philadelphia Eagles. and they were his Zumba pants for the Eagles. He also had like a black and white pair. I think he had like a navy and white pair. I mean, honestly, he's dead now, so he's not going to call me up and tell me that I'm wrong, but he had Zumba pants. I remember them. They were like the ultimate dad clothes. So that is finally all of the patterns. Let's put it to this way. It's all of the uncut women's patterns that belong to Mrs. Landis. There we go. So going forward, what do I have left? I have all of those craft patterns that she had, which range from Barbie doll clothes to, you know, a doorstop that you make out of a goose. Or you know what I did find now? Some people will appreciate this. It was the character bag holder to hold your plastic bags. When we used to, remember when we used to get plastic bags and you would recycle them, you had to have a bag holder to hold the bags. It's one of those that hangs on the wall, and it's like there was like a chef and like a turtle and all that, you know, and you stuff the bags inside of it, right? And I just thought that was funny because there's a whole generation of people that have no idea what that thing is for. It's like, see, back in the day, the supermarket would give you plastic bags and you would save them and you'd take them back to the supermarket because we were all washing the trash because we wanted to recycle, and we were cutting through the 6-pack holders because we didn't want ducks to die and, you know, everything else, right? We all did that. So there were some very interesting craft patterns. There were, unfortunately, and I'm not sure why we love this stuff so much, but we did. There were, I mean, dozens and dozens of animals dressed as a child. So, I mean, like, and I'm not talking about teddy bears. I mean, like a floppy-eared rabbit dressed as a little country child with a straw hat on its bunny ears. Like, and I remember this stuff because I remember my friend's mother actually had tons of these things, and she had little wicker chairs. And she would sit the teddy bears, especially in the little wicker chairs with their cold, dead eyes. And the whole thing was monumentally creepy. But so I think this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to section those into like groups, right? And you remember Olivia, right? I'm going to section them up into groups. So I'm going to do like, I don't know. I'll probably start with something like the Barbie clothes and the doll clothes, because of all the crafts, they actually sell pretty well. In fact, this week, somebody bought the, I don't know if you guys remember, it was the Brooke Shields. It was McCall's pattern for Brooke Shields. And it was like the Brooke Shield, like Barbie doll that they had done. It wasn't really a Barbie. It was Brooke Shields, but it was a fashion doll like Barbie is. And it was a clothes pattern for her. And somebody bought it this week. And I was a little shocked because I've had it for 6 months at least. And somebody finally bought it. So I think I'm going to start with dolls just because the doll stuff does actually sell. I also have the patterns that were cut or partially cut from the haul that I did online that we looked at 2 weeks ago. I also still have some vintage patterns that were from Mrs. Landis that I'd started working on and hadn't finished working on. So I think what I'm going to be doing next week is going to be vintage patterns. I don't know how many I'm going to get to. It's going to be a weird short week next week. And then after that, it'll be doll clothes. I don't know if we're just going to start with Barbie and move on to all dolls, or how I haven't figured it out yet. I need to really look and see like how many patterns we have are just Barbie, how many patterns we have are Barbie, and, you know, how many baby doll clothes patterns I have or whatever. I'm not even sure what I have. And I'm just going to keep working on those. And at some point in time, someday, probably a couple days before I die, I will have finally gotten through all of the patterns from Mrs. Landis's pattern haul. Yeah, it's so overwhelming, but they keep selling. So I'm going to keep putting them up online, and a lot of these vintage ones are super cool. So I'm just going to keep working on the vintage ones, but that'll be my plan going forward for 2024 is we're going to do, 1 week I'll do a bunch of vintage cut, partially cut, like those kinds of patterns. And then the next week I'll do uncut craft patterns, I'll do dolls, doll clothes one week. I'll do teddy bears another week, something like that. I'll do bags for keeping your plastic bags in another week. I don't think I have a lot of those. I think I might only have one or two, but still. So until next week, I hope wherever you guys are, that it is, the ongoing Mrs. Landis haul. I'm glad you're here for it because it's really, I mean, I thought in a year I'd get most of this woman's patterns up online, and I'm dead wrong. Even with stopping to do other patterns, like, because you've seen me, I bought other patterns along the way. Still, majority of my time I've worked on Mrs. Landis's pattern. So it's kind of crazy when you think about it, but we'll see. Anyway, until next week, I hope wherever you guys are that it's not too freezing cold. The snow flurries are still going on outside, but the sun's out and they're not sticking. So that's not happening. I hope it's not too cold because the weather's been crazy and a little scary. So, it's not great. And until next week, I hope wherever you are, you stay well. Trust me, you don't want to get COVID again. Stay well. And until then, thank you for coming by. I will see you next week and have a really pleasant Martin Luther King's birthday. If you're a person that volunteers, thank you so much. That's such a sweet thing to do. I'm not going to be able to do it because I'm still sick, but I love that people on Martin Luther King's birthday do volunteer work. And until next week, thanks for stopping by. Like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you next Sunday.